Hello and welcome to my first official YouTube tutorial, if you like. I dabbled in this a little while ago and I did like a short little clip just to kind of ease myself in and see what's involved. And yes, video editing takes forever, but I had a couple of requests to do the look that I created for the image awards last Sunday. I'm going to do that look today, but I'm just going to simply change the pigment that I used on my eyes just to show you something different. Some of the products that I use today are some that you will always see me use, some are that I'm kind of new to and that I love, but I really hope you enjoy it. So first up, obviously skin prep is key. Now for me, I have dry skin, so I have to be very, very careful in how I prep my skin in order for my makeup to last all night. And then at the same time, I don't want it to like slide off my face or anything like that. So I've done my normal skincare routine of cleansed, toned, moisturized, and I'm actually not going to use this one. I always love like a glowy, dewy look for makeup. So I actually am going to show you these two products because they're two that I absolutely adore. So if you tend to have like dry skin, you need to obviously have a good prep on your base. So the first one that I'm going to show you is this. This is Kinvara. This is their Rose Hip Serum, and it's Irish born and bred, so it's a really nice one. And the one I'm going to use today, simply because I'm trying to keep all the products the same that I used the last time. This is Urban Decay. This is in facial oil there. So I'm literally going to dab a little bit on my face. I'll pop it onto my hand first. It comes as so. You can see it there, and you literally just need the smallest amount. So I'm going to do a drop and a drop. I've got really shaky hands, it's so weird. As so. And I'm literally going to just apply it all over my face. I'm actually going to take, I think I use about 4 drops in total. I'm going to apply it all over my face, as so. So this will just help to create a really nice base, which is even and obviously easy to work with as well. I'm actually going to tie back my hair as well because it's going to drive me insane. Okay, so I generally like to start with my eyes first, simply because there's always a lot of kind of drop from shadows and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to do a little prep. So I'm actually going to go in with the Pro Conceal LA Girl Cosmetics. You can see it there, and this is shade Porcelain, and this retails at about €8. Such an amazing product. It comes as so it's got a little brush on top, so it makes it easier to apply the product. So I'm literally just going to go over my eyelids as so, just to give me a base, and it's just going to kind of get rid of any of that redness, and get rid of some of that redness and give me a good base to work with. So for this area, because the eye is so delicate, of course I can't find it, I'm going to go in with a nice kind of fluffy brush as so. This is the Powder and Pout 245, and it's just going to make it easy to blend and work that product in. So as you can see there, I've got a good base on my lids, hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to start, as I said, firstly with my eyes. There's actually 2 palettes I'm going to work off of today. This is the LMD Be Perfect Master Palette, and I use this, as you can see, a lot. Retails at about 30 quid. For the price you pay, the pigment and the quality of the products is really good. That's the one I'm going to work off. I'm kind of new to using this, but I really love the colours in it as well. This is Blank Canvas's Master Series Palette 1. And that's it there. So as you can see, it comes with a brush as well. I've yet to try the brush, but again, it's just a gorgeous one. So I'm going to try and recreate and remind myself what shades I used. So obviously with the base I need, I've obviously concealed, but I want like a white base as well because it's going to give me a good canvas to work with. So I'm actually going to go in with the Lily here. I'm just going to use a big brush here. This is Blank Canvas E20, simply because I want to just cover all the areas. So it just makes the work a little bit faster. Whenever you get your product on, as so, always just dab the product off. The excess off, not the whole product rather. Ugh. So I'm just going to continue to apply all that there. And as you can see, it's just going to give me even more of a nice, clear, white kind of basic canvas to work. Continuing on to the next step then, I'm going to pick back up the Be Perfect Master Palettes, and I'm actually going to go in with, I'm trying to even recall what I used. I think I firstly went in with Carmen, that colour here. You can see that there. So that's what I'm going to go in with. The brush, sorry, that I'm using is, it's actually a Zoeva brand, and it's number 228. Zoeva have really good brushes as well. Hopefully you can see that there. And again, the top is just nice and fluffy, and it's going to work over kind of a large area, which I want to do at the start because obviously as I continue on with my eyeshadows, I'll be covering smaller areas. So just shake the excess there, and I'm just going in, and you can be as messy as you want with your eyeshadows at the start, because obviously you don't need to be careful about where you're putting them. So I'm just going to kind of bring this all over the eye. I want kind of a couple of shades of brown, and obviously I'll go in with my darker colours afterwards. So I'm just going to put this all over the eye as so, and you can just see it's a gorgeous colour, and it goes on kind of straight away as well. So I'm going to bring it out towards the edge of my brow there as well, just to meet it. And I'm just going to cover the whole lid as so. Obviously I'm going to keep in here vacant from colours, simply because I want my eyes to look longer, and by working the colours out towards the edge of the eye, they will do so. As I said, as the areas get smaller, as do my brushes, so I've covered kind of a large area there. So next I'm going to go to an even smaller brush, as you can see with that one there. It's thinner, and obviously it's a smaller kind of tip, but yet as you can see it's not too compact, so it's going to work well kind of covering the smaller areas. This is Zoeva. Is the thing is even on it still? It's their 2241, so that's that there. And I'm going to go in next with the Master Palette from Be Perfect Cosmetics. And I'm actually going to go in with the cocoa colour here because I love that one, as you can tell. So I'm going to dab a little bit onto the brush, and obviously I'm shaking the excess as well. And I just want to go with the smaller area here. So I'm actually just going to work on the crease for this. And it's just going to hopefully work quite well with that other colour as well. One thing about these kind of colours, browns, not even browns, but like oranges, they work well on all eyeshadow or eye colours. So if you've got green eyes, brown eyes, blue eyes, they are going to make them pop. So as you can see there, I'm just going in along the crease. Back to this palette again for the next part. I'm going to go even darker again, so I'm actually going to go in with the Smokey, and I'm going to keep that to the edges as best I can. So I'm going to get some of that product, shake the excess, top the excess, and go in along the outer corner here. And as you can see, those colours are just starting to work quite well together, and they're all kind of blending together quite well. And you cannot blend enough, I've been told, whenever you do your eye makeup. So as you can see, the look is starting to come together there, and I've solely just worked at the end of my eye. And light movements as well, just make it all a little bit easier. As you can see, there's this excess coming down that side. And I'm just going to work a little bit more and blend that in. And I've gone to just to the end of my brow. Okay, I'm going to go back to my fuller brush here, the thicker one that we used at the start for the white. And I'm just going to blend all this together, just to make sure there's no lines, no harsh lines. It'll all work quite well together. Okay, so that is that done. And lastly, I'm going to go in with a black colour. So I'm going to go back to Noir here. I'm going to grab a little bit with the smallest brush and just go lastly to the very end. There we go. You can see that. And lastly to the end there as well. So that is all my colours, all my shades. I'm going to take it one more, this big fluffy brush, and blend. I don't mind, my makeup's all still a bit crazy at the minute, but I am going to get there. So this that I'm next going to use is the Glam stick glue, as you can see there. So this is really easy to apply. It actually comes with an application and everything as so. So it's very easy. And I'm literally going to go into the centre of the eyelid and dab it. As you can see, it's really clear when it goes on. It doesn't affect your makeup at all, because this is where I want my pops of colours to sit and obviously pop. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with a very small brush, simply because I want to work in a small area. So I'm going to go in with the blank canvas one. This is E23, name's gone off it, but I can just about see it. So it's got a very small tip there. So obviously I just want to work on the smallest of areas. So next I'm going to go to Erin Cosmetics. These are a new company founded by a lovely friend of mine, and her name obviously is Erin. So they come in little tubs as so, and they are called Erin Cosmetics. Hopefully you're picking it up there. I'm going to go in with the brown one, just because I'm going to go with the brown kind of black smoky look. So here is my pot of gold, and I'm going to go in with my little brush. Pick up, you literally just need the smallest amount, and just look at that as it goes on. Like, it's just so fabulous, and it really works really well with those colours. Pick up a little bit more, and that's that there. So it's just gonna really pop as you blink. And again on the other side, I just love this glitter. I actually love anything shiny. I'm just like a magpie. So that's that there. Voila! I'm gonna go back to my blank canvas palette, and I'm going to go with a little bit more of the white lily just on the inner side of my eye. So I'm going to go in with a small brush. And next I'm going to use a Powder and Pout 310 just to reinforce that. And I actually think I need a little bit more of the black on the edges, so I'm going to go with a flat-ended brush, and this is the Zoeva 234. You can see it there. And I'm going to go in with the darkest colour here, Corruption, at the end of this. And I'm going to go under the eye, and then at the side. And the same here, under the eye slightly, just even to the middle, and then up. So you're making, I'm kind of making a triangle, and that's that there. Let me see if I can just blend that in a little bit more. Probably not the best blending brush, but I want to keep that kind of dark as possible, as dark as possible. There we go. Okay, so next I'm going to go on to my favourite part. It is my foundation, and I'm sure some of you know at this stage I am Blush Makeup Ireland's brand ambassador, loud and proud. Oh my god, look at me like this. I need to get makeup on. So this is Blush, their Mineral Liquid Powder Foundation. If you have oily skin, I find this is great because it's got a built-in powder, so it tends to last for people. The other thing is, if you've got dry skin, just from working with people's feedback, they find with the powder in it, it probably dries too quick. So that's why I tend to have dry skin, and I've put on my base there as well. So a good base, it should work quite well for you. The brush I'm going to apply it with is the Blank Canvas F22 brush. It's stocky and short, so it's going to reinforce coverage, and this is actually buildable coverage, but I wear this all the time. And the great thing about mineral makeup is it contains no nasties, so obviously you're only putting nice stuff on your skin. So immediately you can see the coverage that that's given. And just don't ever be afraid to just work into the hairline, work down the neck slightly. Okay, so I now have the blush makeup on. I still look a little bit grey at the minute because I've obviously finished off my eyes, but I'm going to next conceal under my eyes, and I'm going to go in with Amazing Concealer. Maybe that's the wrong way. Amazing Amazing Cosmetics Amazing Concealer. Okay, shade Fair. It's about 2 tones lighter than the foundation that I have on. Literally you need the smallest amount of this because it's like a little goes a long way. So I'm actually just gonna apply it like so, because I'm always so scared if I use any more that I'll have way too much and then it just goes. As you can see, I've literally put the smallest amount on, and then I'm just gonna blend that out. So even with that small amount, look how, not thick, but like consistent, I don't know, is that the word? I'm actually going to bring some of that over here as well because I didn't seem to have enough. And I'm actually just going to use the concealer to bring my eyeliner out to the edge of my eye as well. I'm just going to blend all that in there as well. And you cannot blend this area enough because obviously you don't want it to look too obvious. And this is part of your highlight and contour, so obviously you want to make this area look as bright as possible. Now that I've done my under eye concealing, I'm next going to go in with my darker concealer. So I actually used this the other night, and this is the Hoola Quickie Contour from Benefit. You can see there the brush and the packaging is pretty cool, or not the brush, the packaging and how it comes, and it literally, you twist it and it comes up as so. So you'll get a long time out of this as well. So I'm just gonna literally start my contour. So when you contour, you go from the tip of the ear halfway down the cheek. So another way of kind of watching it as well is if you want to go to the edge of your brow, and the same as so. Now I tend to contour my forehead as well, so I'm going to go in and do that now. So I'm just going to do that as so by following the hairline. So I'm next going to blend all that out, and I'm actually going to use this brush from Powder and Pout, the P120 brush. It's a really good one for contouring because it's not too defined, especially if you're new to contouring as well, and it's going to give you a good kind of blended finish. So even though this is a cream contour, you can actually use the powder as well to just blend. So I'm literally just making sure that that's all just really blended in along the hairline. Lastly then, just to ensure that my contour is going to stay in place, I'm going to go back in with Benefit. This is their Hoola. This has been around years and years, and it's such a great quality product. It comes as so, it's kind of an ashen colour, so it's a good one for contouring. Again, I'm going to keep to the brush that I had, and then this is just going to reinforce and obviously keep the cream contour in place as well. So next is the part that I'm actually dreading because I really don't have a technique about how I do this at all. This is your eyeliner. So I remember when I was being taught this, nothing that I was ever taught was working, and I remember a makeup artist saying before that it was literally just practice, and that's all it is. It is practice, 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 and you will get your own way of doing it, but I literally cannot say practice enough. So the brush that I'm going to use is quite defined and thin. It's the Powder and Pout P410, and it's just got a nice fine tip on top there, if you can see. So it's quite easy to work with. Then I'm going to go in with the Gel Inglot eyeliner number 77. I'm sure we're all familiar with that. This tends to get quite hard in the pot over time, as you can see there. So I'm going to soften all that with the Inglot Duraline. I think this is like, where is that? I think this is like €13 or something, so it's a really good one as well to have in your kit. So I literally just take a couple of dabs of that, and I'm just going to apply it into the pot as so. And then it will just, you'll see it start to soften there as well. So just give it a second and let it. Generally I like to start in the middle of the eye, and I literally am just going to try and follow the lash line down. Follow it down, down, down to here, and then I'm going to use this part of the brush to go the opposite side. And that is literally how I do it. And obviously you try and breathe through it all as well. And just try and fill in those lines. I'm a little bit away from the mirror here, so it's kind of hard to do. But the thinner the brush, the easier the application. Okay, I'm going to touch that up in a few seconds, but I'm just going to quickly talk about this, which is an amazing little product from Beauty Blender Ireland. I think it retails at about €13. I was given this at the beauty show and it literally is a godsend. So what you do with this is you hold it here while you apply your liner to get the wing. So I'm going to do that now. I'll hold that here. I'm going to get some of the product. And it's just giving me a straight line to work with. It just literally makes it so much easier. Okay, I'm going to go and just fill in the gaps here and get the other eye. So my liner is on, and I'm going to go in with the same product into the waterline, and I'm literally, this is actually the easiest part, just going to go along the waterline with the same brush that I used. To reinforce the smoky eye underneath, I'm going to go in with the brush that I used earlier. This is the Zoeva 234. Keep it up there, and it's got like a stocky finish again. So I just want to just rub that liner and blend it all in underneath, and it just kind of smokes it out as well. So as you can see there, it's just bringing it down lower than the actual waterline. But it's just not as severe looking, so it's just a little bit smokier. And that is that. Okay, I am feeling a little bit conscious that this wing is not the same as the other one. I think it's so hard to get them all the same. Anyway, the next important one is lashes. So I use these again on Sunday as well. So obviously I'm trying to keep to that look as best I can. So these are Glam & Co. You see them there. These are, these are really nice. The only thing I'll say about them is the band is a little bit thick, so they are kind of hard to work with. You can definitely reuse them again, so I'm just going to pull off the glue from the last time. So that's a big thing when you're buying lashes, you want to be able to use them again. And if you get a good set, I think these were like a £5 at the beauty show. Now these are super long, as you can see they're really long, but they'll really give the kind of glam effect that you want. So I've already cut these to shape, and I've cut them to shape by just putting them on the lash. Wait, now it's wrong. Yeah, this side, putting them on the lash line and measuring them against my own line. So that's really important as well in order to get the right one. So that obviously fits perfectly. Well, kind of perfectly. The next thing that I'm going to use to apply obviously the lash is the duo glue. We all know about this. It literally keeps the lashes in place all night. So I'm going to apply the, let's make sure everything's off. I'm going to apply the duo glue. Oh shit. I'm going to apply the duo glue onto the lash as so. and a thin kind of line, that doesn't always happen, onto the lash. Oh God, why did I even think about doing a tutorial? I mean, people, please don't take this as golden, because I think that's on there. Anyway, make sure it's all across the line, the lash rather. Give it about 30 seconds to become kind of tacky, and it just means the stick on it will hold a little bit longer. So I'm gonna just shake that around in the air, do a little dance, blow on it, do all these kind of things. Actually, while I'm waiting for that to kind of dry, I'm going to do the next one as well. So I'm just going to take off the excess glue. It comes off pretty easy from the last one. Now, you wouldn't be wearing these during the day because they're about a mile long, but they do look nice then when you're taking pictures, and sure, look, that's what we all want at the end of the day. I'm really rambling. Okay, so I'm going to lift this one back up. Pray this works. I just use my finger. Sometimes people will use a tweezers, but the band is quite thick on this, so I'm actually just going to use my fingers, and it makes for being a little bit easier this time because I've already cut them into place. So they should just sit on the lash line, hopefully. Oh my God, you're getting a close-up of my face. Okay, so I'm just going to let them sit there. So my lashes are on. I'm just going to let them dry and hope they don't fall off in the meantime. Next are my brows, and my brows are microbladed on already. So as you can see, the shape is pretty much there, but because this is a darker kind of nighttime look, I want to just reinforce the shape of them a little bit more. Where is that brush? So I'm actually going to go back in. I actually have two of these brushes. The one that I used for my liner, I'm going to go back in with it again. It's the second one I have, Powder P410. I love this. Again, it's thin, so it's perfect for brows. And I'm going to use the Be Perfect Semi Cosmetics formula product, and it's shade Chocolat. So doing brows, again, like, I don't really have a technique. I just do them and literally just hope for the best. I'm going to tap off the excess, but no, seriously, people do say to just start in the middle of the brow. So when you are doing your brows should start here, and then as you move, they should be in a line with the nose here. The arch of the brow is aligned with the nose here, and then obviously the outer part of the brow should end about here. So when I'm doing my brow, I love a good arch, but I just want to make sure that it's as natural as possible. So I'm actually going to start in the middle. So as you can see, just a small amount of product is needed for that. I'm going to follow the natural shape of the brow and just thin strokes. Does that make sense? Light strokes. Light strokes as you do them. And then just always tap your excess. So I got my brows done a while ago, so the shape is a little bit easier. So I'm just going to reinforce the lines here. As you get to the start of the brow, you need to make your flicks go up, because it just makes them more natural. And then obviously the product, you just blend it all across, but always put your flicks up at the start of the brow. So you can just see the difference there, close up, as to how. Okay, so my brows are now done. And another favourite part of mine is to obviously highlight. I love, love, love highlighting. The highlighter I like at the minute is the So Sue Me highlighting kit. I think it's about the €30 mark. I like it because it is quite pigmented, so you don't need too much product. So I'm probably going to use this one. So for example, you can see there just the pigment on it. It's a nice one to bring on holidays as well. I don't know about the orangey one, but these two I've used and I really like as well. So I generally use a small brush when I'm highlighting, because you don't want to highlight up too near the eye, because obviously we've all got, well, I have fine lines, so you don't want to highlight those areas, because the highlighter is just going to sink into those fine lines and kind of reinforce them. So back to this, and I'm going to go with Shooting Star here, and I'm using a small brush. What I'm going to use is a blank canvas brush. So as you can see, it's a nice fluffy one. The number has actually gone off it. So I'm just going to tap the excess, and I'm going to start here just so you can see that going on. So it really is actually a lovely highlighter, to be fair. And the other side here. Okay, and I'm also just going to slightly highlight under the brow bone. And the same on this side. And it just kind of gives the illusion that the brows are just a little bit higher. Another one to highlight, or a nice area, is the tip of your nose, if you like. So that's why I'm doing that. And lastly, if you want your lips to look a little bit bigger, highlight your Cupid's bow. See the difference that makes there? So next I'm going to do some blusher. I don't generally blush because I don't like the pink really, but if you can get the right blusher, it's actually gorgeous one to just kind of warm up the face as well. So the one that I'm going to use, surprisingly, is Blush. Blush is Blusher, and it is shade Rose Gold. It's gorgeous. I'm going to show you this going on now. What brush am I going to use for this? I'm going to go in with the... This might be a little bit too big, but anyway, this is a Flawless powder. It's actually a powder brush, but I'm just going to use kind of the end of the brush as so, and I'm just going to highlight the cheeks. Okay, so I've just done my little bit of blusher there. Again, just warms up the face nicely. I'm also going to go back in with Blush's bronzer. This is gorgeous. This is their baked bronzer. It's Fiji. And I'll just give you a close-up of this as well. All these products are minerals, so they're going to be a lot nicer on the skin. You can see that there. So I'm going to use a big fluffy brush. Which one is that now? I'm going to go in with Real Technique brushes. It's just nice and fluffy. I'm just going to bronze the neck a little bit more, just to make sure we're all on the same colour here, because obviously that's so important. I want to set all my makeup, and obviously that's crucial for when you're heading on a night out. You're going to be dancing, it's a warmer environment, it's going to be very hot. So I'm going to stick with my blush product for this. This is their Baked Hydrating Powder Foundation. So while it's going to be setting your makeup, it's actually hydrating as well. So I actually really like that one for just taking kind of any shine down as well. It works quite well. So I'm going to go in with a bigger brush for this. This is the Powder and Pout P100. I think it's their dome brush. So I'm just going to pat the whole area there, especially my T-zone, because obviously I was using kind of an oil beforehand. So as much and all as I want to keep the dewy glow on my cheeks, I don't really want to shine on my... But not least, another favourite part of mine is the lips. So this is a combo I'm absolutely loving at the minute. The first one is Blush's Gel Liner. This is shade Coco Loco. If you like nudes, I'm a big nude lover, this is your baby. It's gorgeous. It's a slight tint of brown, so it's a fab one for just getting your lips set. The next one then I'm going to go in with is Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Kim KW one. Again, the packaging on this is just fab. I think they retail at about 30 quid. And then I'm going to just put a little bit of a shine on top with No Cosmetics long lasting lip gloss, and that is shade. So this is the gel liner tip. Obviously liner is a good one to kind of make the lips look plumper in every kind of way. So you're just following the natural, I should stop talking for this, but you're just going to follow the natural shape of the lip. As so you can see already it's given it a nice shape. And then the Cupid's bow. Natural shape there as well. And voila, that's that done. I'm next going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury lipstick, as I said. And lastly, to finish, I'm going to pop a little bit of gloss on from No Cosmetics. Just into the middle of the lip. And that is okay. So to finish, I forgot to just add in a little bit of mascara just to make the natural lash and the false lash blend. Ooh. I'm going to go in with No Cosmetics again. No, is a gorgeous brand of makeup. This is their Perfect Lash Mascara. Okay, so that is the bottom lash in comparison to the other one, so it's actually a fab mascara. And No Cosmetics are super affordable and they are quite easy to get your hands on as well, so definitely. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. It's a nice one for just kind of heading out for a night out. It's your smoky kind of eye with a pop of colour obviously in between, and obviously the nude lip is just going to finish off the look as well.